Sides of going, never mind.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
We don't have an intro tonight. We sloppy.
I was going to say a thing, and then I'm not, because now there's people here.
No.
Oh, hi. I didn't realize you were going live.
Yeah, I'm bringing it back to the first episode.
Yeah, definitely.
Why, hello there.
Why, hello there.
But, yeah. Nasty ain't here tonight. Sorry. I'm the only brown guy tonight, and I'm not that brown. I'm eating dinner.
You're brown in here, man.
Yeah, I'm eating brown food right now, dude. I'll late dinner.
Is that some lamb and rice? What you got over there?
No. Lamb and rice gets eaten out of a foiled dish.
Hold on. Before we go forward, we should pause for a minute. We should have everybody imagine the intro for the next 30. Just
not lamb and rice.
Imagine the intro for the next 30 seconds.
Dal and rice.
Is what rice?
Dal and rice.
Oh, dal and rice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's good.
Yeah,
So,
fast. Like walking into a private comic. It's like rolling up to a bar, right? There's three guys already bullshitting.
Hey, a brown guy and two white guys walking to a bar. What a great example of cultural diversity.
And inclusion. Festy actually hit me up on Facebook today. Maybe we'll talk about the thing he hit me up with.
Oh, good.
Oh, I'm still pretending. Oops.
I'm
eating, goddammit.
Oh, while you eat, I'll greet everybody. Hello.
Yeah.
Hey, Festy, what up? Addy, Al, Vic, Rick. Who else did I miss?
Hopefully
Jason, Tim, Church. All sorts of people in here today.
Oh, yeah. I played Rocket League with Tim last week.
Taru?
Mm-hmm. I saw him playing. I was derping around in Rocket League like a half an hour ago, and I saw him queue up, and I'm like, I set up the show in like 5 minutes. Why you gotta do this to me? I'm like, I wasn't playing with the intention of playing games. I was just futzing around in practice.
Mm-hmm.
The dinner is done.
I feel like it's past my bedtime now.
I fucked up. I ate my ice cream before dinner tonight.
You went backwards.
Yo, it was peanut butter and jelly ice cream.
Ooh.
Peanut butter and jelly ice cream.
Yeah.
We have a
pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
Two frozen yogurt dispensers at work, so I had some Butterfinger vanilla yogurt today.
Did it look like doo-doo coming out?
Very good. No, because it's just vanilla yogurt, and then I put Butterfinger crumbles in it.
Your poop can look like that.
It could, but it's not coming out. It's after I mix it together.
They don't know that. It
was very good.
Oh, yeah. I don't like Butterfingers that much on ice cream. I love Butterfingers, just not on ice cream.
I could have done Oreo too, but it felt like a Butterfinger day.
Reese's Pieces, my guy. That's what
Reese's Pieces is good, but they didn't have that option.
What?
Yeah, they did not have Reese's Pieces today. They change up the toppings and they rotate them regularly. So there were no Reese's Pieces or peanut butter.
Oh, shit. There's the spider just literally, like, I have my charge cable for my DNA mods just hanging from the front of my USB case. And the spider's like, yo, I'm going to draw a web between the cable and the front of your case, dog.
I think you should use that cable more often.
Dude, I literally pulled... Dude, it's plugged into a mod right now.
Oh.
My 75C is charging right. Okay, this guy is fast. Okay, let's catch up to you. Not exactly the best choice of document to use to kill this guy. Anyway, I'm Fuogatu.
Spider Slayer.
First of his name. It is understudy.
People talking about a gaming budget. I can talk about that too. I got a new toy the other day.
We're missing our glue guy tonight.
True. I'm Maxie. Roundabout.
Is glue guy a general term? The only time I've heard it used is in basketball.
Blue guy?
No, glue guy.
Oh, glue guy.
Yeah, like
I don't think anybody knows who I am anymore. I'm just here.
Not the glue guy.
Nope.
Anyway, last week, what did I do? I made fun of vapors like I normally do. I went a little hard last week because of all the Juul boycotting that really grinded my gears.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, I actually got kind of involved in the Reddit thread for that.
Really?
Felt good for me anyway, because I mean, I'll ask the viewers, like, when was the last time I had a good rant? I don't know how my rant went last week, but I haven't had one
Yeah.
in a minute. And it felt good to do it. Really did.
It's been a minute since I had one too. That's true. I didn't think about that.
Because I mean, just from my general malaise of what the industry's tried itself into, I'm like, all right, well, there's a good bit of this that we forecasted and hope wouldn't happen, but happened. But the Juul boycotting, I was like, all right, you guys are fucking retarded. Like, come on. What do you hope to accomplish? Oh, actually, there was a very funny meme that was shared in our Discord today.
I am far behind on Discord.
Yeah, me too. I don't really check.
It's vape related.
Festy, while you look for that, Festy's asking for a suggestion for a good gaming mouse. So I went with Will's recommendation. He's a big fan of the steel case. So I tried the steel case out. It's the first one I've ever bought. It's been good so far for my new PC build.
I'll throw my bid into. I just got this one in fairly recently.
The Razer
Lancehead, which is wireless, and I quite like it.
Yeah, is it good?
It's going to match and go with that wireless keyboard you sent me on Kickstarter.
True.
A while ago. Yeah, I quite like this guy so far. It's very similar to my other Razer, but I can unplug it and it's wireless, and I like that. I quite like it. I mean, I have the Razer keyboard too, which I like, but I want to go wireless at the desk because it looks cleaner. Oh, the Lancehead quit clicking for him. I don't use mine that much, though. I use the Apple mouse more than anything else, of which I have several sitting around if one breaks.
Hey.
Yeah, so talking about VR, so I got a Oculus Quest the other day, yesterday actually, when it came out. This guy right here. And this comes from me being involved in the VR stuff for a little while.
Do you play welding simulator with that?
So I have a Vive. I have an Oculus Go, which I kind of hated. But the Quest, when I moved, I kind of lost all my space, so I can't really play anymore. And the Quest is completely wire-free. And it'll play a lot of the same games. So it'll play like Super Hot in VR. Super Hot is so much fun in VR. It's one of the best VR games. But I played the Quest a little bit last night. I played a couple games trying it out, and I actually really like it. Because I can sit here and play it in my office, or I can run downstairs and I can play it with more space in my living room, and I can just take it wherever I want. And it's very easy. It doesn't require any of the big ass towers like I have over there and over there, and it's just very easy to use. And I very much like that.
I've been using. Oh, there you go. My ottoman was pressing against my cable. I have the Logitech G303. I like this a lot. However,
Logitech stuff. I always have.
They make good advice.
They do. They always have the G Pro. I was using a friend's over the weekend. I thought about buying it. I got this. They don't make this one anymore. In particular, I think it's like the 302 now or something of the sort.
Yeah.
I got this for like $26 on Amazon. The G Pro was $45 at the time. I like the G Pro more. I think the shape is perfect. I don't know. The mouse game has been moving kind of crazy quick lately, and I haven't been able to keep up. But let me do a quick Amazon for the G Pro.
So I ended up with Razer because I haven't really played laptop, and then Razer is one of the only people who make like a not full size keyboard, and I like small keyboards. So I picked that up, and then I was like, well, I'll get a Razer mouse, and I got a Razer headset because then I can synchronize all the RGBs very quickly.
I can't tease you. I've ended up picking up a Corsair keyboard, and it's the same thing, right? You can make all the RGBs go crazy.
Well, I have a Corsair keyboard. That's what I used to use until I got the smaller keyboard. But I can have synchronized RGBs, so it's all on the same profile and works together.
Right. And that you could do the same thing with the what is that?
That was the thing I need to share. But continue.
So the steel case, I ended up doing steel series. Sorry, I missed it. Steel case is a chair. The steel series mouse that I ended up getting the slightly lower end one, but because it had, it's got a couple of side buttons, like 2 on each side. It's fine. How many buttons do you really need? And so I ended up doing that. The only thing I don't like about the Steel Series is the back, the RGB logo thing. It's really bright. It's one of the few things you can't turn down is the intensity of the light. You can change the color to any color or whatever.
You can't change the brightness.
You can't change the brightness on that light. I don't know why.
I didn't. Well, I have mine on now, but I usually have it off because of that. Well, actually, I think I can adjust my brightness on mine because mine doesn't annoy the shit out of me.
Now, it's possible that it's just because I got the lower end one or whatever, right? Maybe that's why. Because that's definitely
it still should be something you should be able to control through the firmware regardless.
Yeah. I mean, it's got an app or whatever, right? You can customize it and do like game specific profiles and all that sort of stuff. But the one thing it doesn't do for whatever reason is intensity on that light. So now the Corsair keyboard that I got is also kind of a lower end one. They make much more expensive ones, and this one does not have separate software that you can use to change stuff on the fly. Its stuff was all built into the firmware, like in the device, so you do the magic key dances kind of thing to change up all the RGB crap. The more expensive ones do that, like you're talking about, Sean. They synchronize everything up and all that sort of stuff. I just didn't get it because most of the time I'd have it turned off anyway, or just dark red.
I do too. That's the thing, and I'm gonna switch the keyboard to that Kickstarter one, which means I'm gonna lose the synchronized RGB. Also, I think everybody knows you don't have a steel case chair because I think everybody at this point has to know you're a Herman Miller person.
I am a Herman Miller person. It's true. So are you.
I am too.
I admittedly, after 12 years or whatever of my ass in this chair every day, it is starting to be a little more saggy in the middle of the mesh.
It's time to get an embody.
It's starting to, well, either that or just replace the mesh because it just snaps out. You can buy a new mesh, just snap it in.
The embody is so worth it.
Yeah, but this would cost me like $100 instead of $1,000.
So at work we have chairs all over the place, and we're on a big campus, right? So like, I could go get a Herman Miller chair from one of the other buildings, one of the old Aerons, but like the Aerons never did it for me like the embodies. So like I was on the other side of the campus in like a completely different office, and they have all these chairs that look like cheaper knockoffs of the embodies, and they look nice. And I'm like, I asked one of the guys in that office, I'm like, how many people sit in here? He's like 8. I'm like, looks like you got plenty of chairs. He goes, yeah. I said, I'm taking one. You can just see me wheeling it across. And like, I have 2 employees who are there with me. And I made the comment on the way back, and somebody was like, did you make your employees push it? I said, yeah, but I was on it, obviously.
Yeah.
So I had them wheel me across the campus. I didn't actually do that, but
you didn't. I was fully assuming that you were serious.
No, I wheeled the chair across the campus myself. I did not make my employees
the
campus. But I did wheel the chair, so I took it from the 4th floor down to the lower floor,
right
across the campus, which is long, up another elevator to the 2nd floor in the other building, in my building, and then across the rest of the campus to my desk. And people are just looking at me like, what the fuck is that guy doing? I'm like, this chair looks comfy.
I need a chair.
Yeah, this one looks comfy. I want this one.
That is the worst part about going to a new client or something too, is when they stick you somewhere that you need
Yep.
to be, and they give you this whatever fixed, stool basically.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, dude, you expect me to sit here and work for 8 or 10 hours or whatever today, sitting on this piece of crap?
Oh, yeah. And then I made everybody mad because the first thing that you do is you make friends throughout a situation of like, you want to make friends with the people who can get you stuff. So I made friends with their tech support. And
that's a solid relationship to develop.
So when they started doing monitor refreshes, I got a 34-inch ultra wide. And everybody's like, how the fuck did you get a 34-inch ultra wide? You're the new guy. I'm like, well, I know people.
No question.
You're going to come in tomorrow and that's going to be gone. I'm like, I'll know where it went. I'll get it back.
So Festi, that is Razer's that's their rep, right? Is they've got their rep for their bloaty apps as well as their switches. Seems like, at least from what I've been told, their switches tend to die pretty quickly. But I haven't noticed the Corsair. Oh, you know what? That's because I haven't downloaded the Corsair app because my keyboard doesn't use it.
So you know what you can do now with Razer though? If you want to, you can turn on an optional app that uses your computer for coin mining cycles in the meantime that benefits Razer. Not you.
Yeah, I heard about that, which that does make me laugh, right? Why would you do that?
I think they give you some perk or like discounts at Razer or something. I'm not sure.
Let us mine Bitcoin on your shit.
For fucking coin mining. I do, however, like some of the other software that they have that like kills all processes that are unnecessary when you launch a game and frees up memory and shit. That thing works pretty fucking good.
That's cool.
Optimizer, it works pretty good.
I think I got one of those for my video card. Does that?
Yeah.
It also optimizes the games.
Yep.
It gives you the perfect settings or whatever.
It's built right into the blade because the blade's what I've been using for gaming. So whenever I boot something, it starts their fucking game engine and fucking clears up my cache, fucking closes shit that doesn't need to be open or stalls it and like sets me up to be in the best position I can be in, which is great.
I can't pull my mic over to me anymore. It's behind my second monitor.
Yeah, mine too.
I was going to say, Razer has determined that you do not need this application.
Oh, yeah. So I think I showed this earlier.
Yeah. I want to know what this is.
So I actually had myself clicked for like a couple of lips while you guys were talking, but this was on subreddit Watch People Die Inside. This dude's like taking a snap, hitting his vape.
Yeah.
His mom comes in. So in this instance, this is a time where you should be proud that you have a clean as fuck waterfall inhale.
Yeah.
That was pretty fucking clean. I'm gonna give that to him.
What is that?
It's probably one of those like shitty pod devices.
Yeah.
I mean, what you're not seeing here is on that device. That's about all the vapor that there is that comes out.
Yeah, but do you need really?
That was pro as fuck. My hat off to him.
That guy clearly doesn't have a fan running in his
Right.
No, you just
because mine's clean, but when you have a fan moving, it doesn't matter because it's gonna catch some wispies.
I got a fan on. You just gotta get good, scrub.
What?
I need a fan in here. I have too many computers, and this office gets hot as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, it's small now. It's not like my old big one. That was in the basement, so it stayed cool. Like, this is on the top floor. It gets really fucking hot.
I bet. This one, my office does too. Now that I have another PC in there, it was okay before. It was noticeable, but it wasn't bad. Would I have two of them running? Yeah.
Yeah, this is
I've got
time of year where I hit a new high.
times and sometimes up to 5 or 6.
Duh.
It gets really hot in here.
Be nice in the winter though.
Overclocking season.
But it still gets really hot in here, even in the winter. Like, it's not uncommon for me in the winter to crack the fucking window.
No, I bet.
It happens in my house sometimes too.
I just come in and I crack the window.
You get stuff. Heat gets stuffy sometimes.
Yep.
Like during the winter, you have heat coming out of your machine and dry heat coming out of your shit.
Well, and then plus you gotta figure you got heat coming off monitors, and I have 3 big monitors here, and then the TV. So like, there's no small amount of things that generate heat. Plus the Drobo,
Right.
which has got 5 hard drives in it, so that generates some fucking.
You should stay in my basement then, because it's cool as fuck down here.
I miss being in I miss having the other problem where like I had a like warming foot pad on the floor because it was always cold. I kind of miss that.
Oh, the vape that was in the video is a smoked Nord. I'm told by the.
At least you can like when you're cold you can fix it. When you're hot, it's much more difficult.
That's the case with all sorts of things,
right?
Not just rooms.
I know, but like that's what I mean. Like when you're cold, you can fix it.
Yeah.
When it's Virginia and hot, not so.
You can't take off skin, my man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm saying, and like if I'm on camera and nobody wants to see me take the shirt off, so.
Yeah, there's only so many clothes you can take off.
That would go back to the old school days of early vape hangouts. A bunch of fat dudes with their shirts off on video. It was
what fucking vape hangout did you come from?
That was
oh, the fucking IRC.
Before you guys moved to Hangout. Dude, before you guys moved to Hangout, before your group moved to Hangout, we had the other group. I was in the other group.
Yeah, I know.
You remember?
I pop in there every so often.
You totally know who I'm talking about because he used to jump in ours with his shirt off. Kid.
You might be missing an appendage.
Possibly.
Or a digit.
A digit, yeah.
A digit, yeah.
Well, that and all the UK guys, they have threads all the time with their disgusting chest hanging out.
Dude, the UK hangout could not handle this.
I'm not even talking about hangout. I'm talking about threads on Facebook.
No, I don't know about hangouts. I'm like, I remember specifically one of our people went in, took a screen cap of one of the guys in the hangout and photoshopped his face really small on his head.
Yeah.
He didn't say anything. He just sat with that picture up.
You know what's sad is for all the crap that happened back then, I still think vapors had more class then than they do now.
What? So you prefer grown children instead of actual children? All right.
Fair enough.
Weird flex, but okay.
I mistimed my Diet Cokes tonight, by the way. So I still had like a half of one before I had to crack one for the show.
Ooh, that is bad timing.
I normally am much better about it, but I didn't do it today.
There's nothing wrong with having 2 sitting on the desk.
They will be consumed. Nothing will be wasted.
Yep. So we talked about this a long time ago, but this time it's confirmed it's actually happening. In 2 weeks, I'm going to fucking LA. And I have dinner plans with Mr. Nareg.
I'm so jealous.
I'm very excited.
I'd love to give that guy a high five, man.
Yeah, I'm very excited. He like sent me. He's like, dude, I have a restaurant in mind. It's like my favorite restaurant. We're gonna go there. I'm like, okay, that sounds good.
That's the way to do it in a big town, especially an eating town like LA. It just let the locals take you somewhere because it's gonna be good.
Yep. And I'm hoping that like this time when I go, like last time I went, I was fucking horribly sick, right? Like I got really.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
So like I felt like I was dying. So I spent either all my time on pain meds, high. I would go out to dinner with like my boss, and I would go to the office, and then I would like have really weird dreams at the hotel while watching like fucking Ultraman. Like it was fucked up. But that was my whole trip. So like this time I'm going to a conference for 2 days and then I'm working for 3 days. But like I'm hoping that I get to see Nareg, I get to hit the beach one day. It'd be really nice to see a fucking beach in LA because it's goddamn LA. Hopefully I'll get to keep going over to Yahoo for breakfast because they got really good breakfast. The LA Yahoo office is super nice. And they got real good breakfast and it's free.
There you go.
I fucking hope so.
Well, it's the one that they bring celebrities to, right? So like
yeah.
probably the nicest office they have.
I don't get fucking free food at work like that. Only on Mondays. Not every Monday though.
Now my office now has a fully stocked cafeteria, like whatever you want all the time, like 5 stations. But you go to LA and they have vegan water and they have 15 stations. I'm not even kidding. I have a picture on my phone somewhere of like a water dispenser that says water, parenthesis, vegan, end parenthesis.
What the fuck is that? Was like a fucking kosher sink?
I really don't know. Like I saw it and I laughed and I took a picture.
This water has never had a bear pee in it.
You're missing out then, right?
I would also like to know how they guarantee that.
Right? It's probably distilled. Probably distilled.
That doesn't mean that a bear didn't pee in it.
Yeah, but it's changed state since then, so it's not affiliated with the bear. I guess with 2 state changes, you can justify it being vegan.
And it's tough, though, because the last time I went out, I get to the office in LA, and I'm like, all right, where's breakfast? And they're like, oh, this office doesn't have breakfast. Like, what the fuck, man? I'm not prepared for this.
Breakfast?
They're like, oh, the other office has breakfast. I'm like, well, you're fucking driving me to the other office right now. I'm hungry.
Yeah, Fezzi, that's right. Bear piss and water. That's organic water. That's
organic water, not vegan.
I mean, did either of you grow spaghettis when you bought your spaghetti boxes?
What?
Exactly.
Yeah, so Nick, I work in the internet industry now where everything's fucking free. And we have pool tables and massage chairs. It's kind of interesting.
Oh,
my boss today is like, so yeah, Monday's a holiday. I said, yeah. He goes, well, the standard for a holiday is the Friday before. Everybody leaves like 2 or 3 hours early. So make sure that you tell your guys that you're cool with them doing that because that's what they've done for the last several years. I'm like,
actually,
cool.
I just remembered something that grinded my gears. Someone at work figured out the crunch of numbers, and they're like, we can save ourselves like a few $1 million if we just stop leaving cups out in the kitchen. My company, I've been in 4 different buildings since this policy was enacted. No goddamn cups for coffee. Now, water is no problem because I always bring a water bottle with me. Coffee. I stole my boss's mug off his desk. So what are you doing? And I'm like, I need coffee. He's like, but that's my mug. I'm like, I'll wash it out. I'm like, it's no problem. He's like, no, but it's my mug. You know what I did? I didn't wash the mug. You know what I did? I fucking licked it. So what are you going to do now?
I dipped my ball.
I'm still alive. But yeah, fucking lame. No more cups.
Yeah, speaking of raw water, did you hear about that?
What?
The raw water thing?
No.
So that's actually been a thing. I think it was at San Fran that this whatever companies started to try to do this. They were grabbing water that has not been treated on purpose so that it's raw, right?
Oh, because the water I've been drinking my whole life is turning the frogs gay. That's right.
Right. That's right. It's turning the old frogs gay. But this water is raw. But unfortunately, that really does have bear piss in it. I mean,
dude.
Yeah. There's sometimes, I mean, you can go out and find
beaver shit.
Find a pristine spring with sparkling, gorgeous looking water and not stagnant and all that sort of stuff. But you can drink out of it in many states. And that could be a jippy water. It could be have gypsum in it, and it could be really bad for you. It could have freaking amoebas in it, right? You do want your water filtered, even if it comes from the natures.
It is something though that if you didn't grow up in the country or next to a mountain though, everyone should do it in life. Just fucking stick your fucking head in the stream and drink out of it though. Everyone should do it once in life.
You should. It's great. You may have the shits for a week. But
I didn't. I mean, my stomach is cast iron. I have to go to third world. I need third world water to break me down. But even then, I've survived that. So,
So I realized something interesting too in this line of conversation, and it might just be with what I do now. Like I don't give a shit anymore. This is the most I've ever revealed about like my job ever.
I was a little surprised that you mentioned that.
The problem is if you go look up my name, you'll find out exactly what I do at this point. So it's not like it's a secret anymore.
Well, because you don't have a veil over your work this time.
Well, yeah, at one point, like I had this big aura of secrecy over what I did, but like now, fucking, you look up Understudy 77, it's attached to my job and my work and that side of my life too now. So it's not like I can keep it a fucking secret anymore.
Right.
Plus, there's really cool stories about it because. For anybody and Brian, for you might get a kick out of this. I work on the campus that used to be AOL. So America Online for any of the old people in here, right? We have conference rooms downstairs where the tables are made of cement and crushed AOL CDs. It's the most amazing thing in the fucking world. Like you literally go sit in this conference room and it's just little tiny crushed pieces of AOL CDs.
If they didn't send out so many fucking CDs, they could have saved those and built your entire office with it.
It's quite possible, yeah.
Yeah.
Instead, we got a couple tables, and the rest of them are probably buried in the desert. There is a running gag about who has more things buried in the desert: E.T. the video game or AOL CDs.
No, those AOL CDs are probably in Virginia, actually. That's where. So like
I work on that campus, so
yeah, like Staten Island, like the jokes about the landfills, like those there've been like a moratorium on those for years now. So they've just been like pushing the landfills further south, and probably over all that nothing you fly over on your way to LA that you'll see.
But it's to be in an old school building like the AOL building, because it's like looking at a dead 90s internet company. And it's mildly like a slice of the fucking .com boom in its most interesting sense.
They were smart. The only reason they still existed as AOL is because they acquired good assets along the way. So basically, when they got bought out, it was like, we're not buying you for you. We're buying you because you have cool shit.
Yeah, but they don't exist as AOL anymore. They haven't been AOL in a while. They're Verizon now.
Still AOL to me.
Verizon owns all that shit. Yahoo, AOL, all that crap.
Yep.
That's why I was talking about eating breakfast at the Yahoo campus.
Hey, understudy, what are you vaping on? Oh, fuck, Eggsy's not here. God damn it.
He might be back by the time we get through this. So I have a Bolt V3 that was engraved by Ricardo, who I think I'm going to see this week too, because he fucking lives really close to me. I found this out recently. With a door that he did, with a Narca, with an Omen tip, with abolishment from us and Stash.
I have Narta, no drift. On the 250C beta today, the 75C that had hey, there's remnants of spider web on this. Yeah, this spider gave no fucks. I literally plugged this thing in before we went live, and then I just see webbing between my USB cable and my case. Like, dude, know your fucking place. This area, not for you. You can hang out there, you can hang out there. Oh yeah. See my dope globe?
I do see your dope globe.
It is a 1989 Britannica globe. Actually, I'll bring it over here.
I've never actually seen that side of this room before. I've only ever seen it from like there over.
It's mostly empty, but let's see. Oh, this is USSR's on this. Look at all these countries that haven't come to be in their own yet. I think the Soviet Union's the big one on this one. It was 1989, so it was broken for a bit, but I fixed it. It's a little jacked up on the bottom, but it's a textured globe, and do kids even know what this shit is anymore? They like believe the world is flat now or some shit, right? So, but anyway,
I'm curious because I haven't Googled myself in a little while. It's still mostly vaping. Every once in a while, I try to Google myself and be like, what shouldn't be there so I can get the fuck rid of it.
So I did something I didn't think I would do today.
What'd you do?
I commented on an ECR thread.
Oh, yeah? Was this in a bitchy one?
No, it was an article about how like vaping's been becoming very popular in India. But smoking is also really fucking popular in India, right? You got a lot of fucking people in that country.
Sure.
So basically, tobacco stepping in to take countermeasures and such. People, when you sit in the top comments like, well, maybe they're trying to curb their population problem. Like, yeah, but like, they don't forget. So the first thing that came to my mind was John Oliver did a segment. And of course, we can't show it because we got flagged for showing that clip of Charles Barkley
Yeah.
and Shaq the other week. That happened like 6 seconds after Mass played it. So I will link it in chat. But basically, it was about John Oliver did his bit about cigarette companies are, their revenues have been disappearing here. How do you make up for it? You go harder overseas. where countries don't have enough money to afford litigation if they pass anti-smoking laws.
Mm-hmm.
These multinational companies can sue the pants off of them. That's what they do it. No one seemed to get the point in that thread, so I just put in my 2 words about it. I didn't fucking go after anybody. I was civil, and I linked the video. So let me find it for y'all. And then John Oliver cigarettes. Boom. Found it. SEO game. Get some. Don't have to watch it right now. The lengthy piece, it's 18 minutes long. But I advise you watch it. Spit some knowledge, and I don't give a fuck whether or not you agree with the guy. He's got good points, good information. And yeah, I feel like stuff like this is important in understanding why we're in the position we're in. So might lose, but at least it's good to know why you lost.
Yeah. Well, and you see the other side of it where, so like companies are going to be companies. So they're going to take their cigarette business overseas because they can. And then they're going to.
It's already overseas.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. And then
Yeah,
they're double down and they're going to focus on the harm reduction alternatives that exist here that currently have a lot of traction. So things like the Juul and vaping and IQS stuff, because they can change their revenue model and market that stuff here and do well without the regulatory hit.
Well, we'll see what happens with that.
That's business. You know the big ones are going to live.
Mm-hmm.
We've known all along the big ones are going to live. The IQS just got their fucking PMTA, and the big ones are going to live. They're going to exist. We knew that from the start. The question was whether or not open vaping would live. And that actually brings me into what Festi sent me earlier today. That is an interesting concept to talk about in this turn, because I'll just read. It was a post that he posted off of Facebook. All right, guys, CT Sfada has gotten a flavor ban removed, a 75% wholesale tax on all products. That's just in 2019. We do this every year. Cut down to almost nothing, and yet we can't pay our bills through next month. Come on, everyone, we need your help. Consumers need to be asking tough questions. Don't be afraid to tell your local shops that we're the only reason they're still in business. Shout out goes to a couple individuals, the only 2 people who have had conversations with shops and owners and have been asking me for my info to give for Spada. Does it take a free bottle of liquid? What do people need to keep vaping alive? I'll do whatever it takes just to help the industry. This is my plea. Please help in any way. And this goes back to conversations that we've had over a long time. And there's interesting conversations about it because it's both angering and sad at the same time. But the onus of saving vaping has never been on the consumer, other than to show up, right?
We didn't do a great job of that either.
We didn't, but the onus of saving vaping has always been a financial battle, not just a showing up one. And the onus of saving vaping has never been on shops collecting donations from consumers. The onus of saving vaping is on the people who make fucking money from vaping.
Well, even that alone is not enough to fight the battle. I can't fault them, entirely for doing that. But it's even if it's like we're going to war and oh, son, you're 16. All right, fuck it. You're not old enough to fight, but we need you. Here's a rifle. That shit. That's.
But we had such a low percentage group of shops that participated, let alone people that participated. And I mean, the shops are the ones who really knew what was going on. You got to remember, the average vapor, no matter how much you tell them, they don't fucking know.
Nine vapors. Shop owners don't know that much either.
But that's their responsibility.
Oh, obviously. But that's what I mean is we as consumers are not going to we have to do what we have. We have to do what we need to do anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
The shop owners are going to do what they do. I can't tell you how many shop owners I met doing the road thing who were just oblivious to population. They thought we're gonna play with house chips for fucking ever.
Yep. Or how many got into it for a quick buck?
Not the quick buck. I mean, look, most people had pure intentions getting into it. Just it's a business opportunity. Yeah. This that it was.
But it was never a business opportunity worth spending money trying to stay. For a lot of people, it was not a business opportunity worth spending money trying to save.
At least from my perspective, at least where I live, like vape shops, unfortunately, like when I live in an area that's as dominated as tobacco shops as they are, they're ultimately going to weather out the storm for the most part. Maybe some chain shops will exist, but at least I like using New York City as a microcosm because vaping itself, I would classify it as a weird store, right? Like record shops, niche shops.
Oh yeah.
New York's too fucking expensive for that, and a lot of major cities are getting to be too expensive for that because vaping itself doesn't turn enough of a profit. Because what our mission was to obsolete the cigarette, and I feel like the Juul's done that, and some other various hardware, right? You know, tobacco is still fucking huge in this country. You need, like, you're not gonna just sell vape hardware in a lot of places.
Oh, yeah. Tobacco is always going to be huge, though, and
So that's what I mean. Like, what's more profitable? Like, I already own a tobacco shop, and I'm like, all right, well, I could start selling vape shit.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've said this before. In a lot of ways, like the mission to obsolete the cigarette has never been my thing. The mission has always been educated choice. Like, I don't give a fuck if people smoke. If people want to smoke, let them, right? Like, that's their fucking right. They can smoke.
I'm laughing at Rob.
Part of our culture is built on tobacco. It's part of our culture.
Yeah, but I've never been against smoking. I don't do it anymore.
No, and I'm not, like, more importantly, like, there's always been the stigma. Like, a policy we had at Enjoy when I was working there that I didn't agree with was we wouldn't sell the smoke shops. That was not a great policy.
Yeah.
You know, there came a point where I needed to make a deal because a lot of vape shops who were not buying the corporate, you know, drinking the fucking anti-Enjoy Kool-Aid and such, right? Whether it was that or the price point couldn't agree on. Smoke shops wanted it. Smoke shops have the money to, because like a lot of vape shops were just like, I don't want to gamble $500 on initial order, $400 or whatever. Like, I even offered them a fucking $200 initial order, but some, like a smoke shop straight up offered to buy $1,000 worth of bottles.
Sure.
And I'm like, do you like, you know? And my boss, I'm like, dude, I like money. You know, and these guys have, you know, losing $1,000 on a juice order is fucking nothing to these guys.
Yeah. Not only do they have the money, they also have the clientele, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Coming in.
That's the clientele that you need. That's the transition point.
Right.
The vape shop is not. But that's one of the things that's always bothered me. So, like, you know, like you get like, I'm trying to think of a good analogy. I'm going to use this one. I don't know if it's a great analogy.
Can't have it without anal.
The dude who was like big his whole life, like fat kid, right? And he finally goes out, he loses a bunch of weight, and he goes, yeah, fat people are gross. Like 6 months after he loses all the weight, right? Like that guy's a dick.
That's not a bad analogy.
Right? But like vapors who switch and then demonize smokers are the same. Like they're no better.
Well, you also put on weight when you vape custard. So
because it's high in calories, obviously.
Obviously.
But I'm saying, like, it's the same concept, right? Like, I used to do this thing and now I don't, so I'm going to demonize it and I'm going to.
Yeah, no, it's not a bad analogy.
Worst way possible.
I don't disagree in general with the analogy, but at the same time, some of that, at least, and this is coming just purely from me, so this is anecdotal. For me, personally demonizing it for myself is one of the ways that you can get away from doing it, right? It's when you make that transition of, and this is the case with a lot of things in this country these days, is when you need to be able to separate an action from a person, right? That people that demonize smokers, it's stupid. That's ridiculous. It's exactly like you're talking about.
Well, it's the same the Juul argument that Foo ranted on last week that I commented on Reddit on. You know, oh well, we have to demonize this thing that is a tobacco harm reduction alternative because of who makes it.
Right.
Yeah, I'll take people who don't know how to compromise.
Yeah, for fucking 7 years ago, I was a regular consumer of a product by that company.
What's the term I use? They didn't like the shoebox it came in, so no. Like, no,
right.
Go fuck yourself.
Like, but that's the thing. Like 7 years ago, I was a heavy consumer of that company on a daily basis or more, right? So like, I'm not going to demonize that entire company at this point. Somebody said, doesn't vaping make us a better person so we can diss smokers? That's what it feels like, right? But like, let's be honest. We have a long history of sexualizing smoking in this country to a point. A lot of people still think smoking looks cool.
I'll still bang Audrey Hepburn with a cigarette in her mouth. Are you kidding me? Like,
this will never look cool. No matter who the fuck you are, and no matter how interesting I think it is, it will never look cool.
That's because that one's plastic and not stab wood.
This one will never look cool either. And we talk about, oh man,
that totally makes you
sexy and blah blah blah.
The only cool vape out there is a billet box. That is it.
Yeah, that's possible.
And even that's questionable.
No, dude, straight up. When I took my Rev 3 out, that is the only vape I had that was universally adored. Universally, everyone thought it was fucking cool. Slid the door, and I'm like,
because it's about the size of a pack of cigarettes, and it doesn't look like shit.
And I was wearing, I had my suit. It was in the breast pocket. Like it's a slick fucking mod.
Yeah.
But for the most part, other than that, like vaping still doesn't look cool, and it never will.
So to me, and this is difficult. I can perform a little thought experiment and say that I can see some of this argument, and the reason is this: we do have companies, tobacco companies. And I'm not talking about people, smokers. I'm talking about tobacco companies that have spent many decades buying research, putting forth a lot of, I mean, you take your pick, price fixing, inventory manipulation, blah, 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 blah. To do at the end, as an end goal, is to addict people to their poisonous product, right? Sure. I feel pretty comfortable demonizing a company for doing these things because I fell prey for it too, for a long time. But
I'm much more a personal accountability person.
Well, but that's I mean, the company's run by people, right?
No. Personal accountability in the sense that, like, if you buy into it, that's on you.
Oh yeah, that was on me, right? But I don't have to like or support a company that does these things, right? So Juul that's what makes it hairy, right? Because Juul as an entity is not those people. They're doing the whole tobacco harm reduction thing, right? You got Altria moving in and buying up a significant percentage of it. So now they've kind of been tainted a little bit. Like I can kind of see where that comes into the play, but you have to kind of boil it back down to what you were talking about a minute ago, which is the product that company is putting forth is tobacco harm reduction. That's all there is to it, right? It's all there is to it. Yes, they're owned by somebody that I don't like, that has done questionable things in the past and whatever. But
I think they've also seen the writing on the wall, and for this market, they're going to do what they need to do.
Right, exactly. They're making money. That makes sense.
So, and the other interesting concept of that is, like, one of the things that we've talked about a lot in vaping, and it's nice because vaping is a small market, and it's the same with any small handmade boutique market,
especially the hobby
that we're in, hobby stuff.
Yeah.
We can buy from people that we like and we respect and that we trust, and that's great. But I have a lot of ethical problems with fucking Amazon and Walmart,
sure,
and other companies, but I still shop there because it's fucking convenient.
Yeah.
So, like,
what possible ethical concerns do you have with Walmart and Amazon? That was a joke, by the way.
I figured. I don't want to get into, like, that's a long thing. Also, just as a side note, I'm pretty sure the sign that the apocalypse is here, which is fun because in a week Good Omens comes out, which is kind of fitting. Duro and I agreed on something.
Oh,
people have the right to smoke.
Oh, they certainly do. Absolutely.
But me agreeing with Duro is not common.
That's not common. Yeah, but they do absolutely.
I mean, you guys are both
that, right?
You guys are both opposed to the killing of small children with firearms, aren't you?
Have you stopped beating your wife? Yeah.
I'm really quick. Me and a friend ran for president of the student body, and that was one of our campaign points.
That's good,
dude. We took stances you couldn't argue against.
Yeah, that's smart.
That's the way to do it as a politician, right? Is make outlandish claims that nobody.
The one college-related promise we made: we will get a new food vendor. That never. I mean, we did get a new vendor. They were even worse, and the prices went up. We didn't win. Fuck. We didn't actually want change.
But it just comes into that, like, yeah, there's a weird ethical line there and a bunch of bad shit that has happened, but like, the more you get into the business side of things, the more you realize, motherfucking every business does it to some extent.
Yeah.
Every one of them skirts a line. Every one of them uses a loophole. Every one of them will trick you into doing something.
But how many of them produce gay hobbyists?
Like, I use fucking Gmail.
You fucking evil pig, Sean.
Scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, as well.
More than any other company in the world right now, Google scares the shit out of me.
Which is impressive, right? Because you've got competitors like Facebook, which is also extremely scary.
Facebook is extremely scary, but Facebook doesn't have a phone yet.
Right.
And the Google phone will like track you to your restaurant and be like, hey, you remember that restaurant that you were at the other day? Don't you want to go back?
Well, yeah, you looked up directions to it. It's going to remember. So, if anything, it's being a good friend. Okay, it's being a good friend. So stop putting it down.
Google scares the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Because they're in your email, they're in your phone, they're in text messages, they're in motherfucking thing you do.
Here's the other thing about that is there are other competitive products, and by that I mean Apple, they've got similar really creepy things. Like, for example, the other day I got into my car to go to church, and it gave me directions to church, and I was like, didn't ask it to. It just said, hey, you going over there?
But
there's some directions to it. But the thing is, though, at least with Apple, it's all encrypted and it stays on your device, and it doesn't go to the cloud and go to their ship.
Apple's profit margins are not based on selling your data to advertisers.
Exactly.
Do they do it to a certain extent? I'm sure. Do they do it to the extent that Google's entire business is built on it? No.
Nowhere close.
Not even close. Apple actually made a joke about that at like E3 last year.
They
did.
Apple might be scary. Facebook is the one that's cashing in the most.
Facebook is absolutely cashing in the most, but it's not.
Like, they lead by a good margin. Like, in terms of how much money they make per user, I think it's like $1.7 per user. They make average. Yeah, I think you're right. $1.3 per user.
No, $3. It's $3 per user.
It's like somewhere like Reddit, they only make like 20 to 30 cents a user.
I would happily pay Facebook $5 a year to opt out of that whole experience.
Yes.
I would pay them $6. They could double their fucking money.
I'll pay them $10 to eat a dick.
Yeah. But one of the really interesting things is you get like, so I go to different meetups and stuff for computer stuff, and like you'll hear people be like, hey, everybody fucking congratulate my wife, she finally got off the Apple shit. And then they'll go into this rant on Facebook and privacy, and I'll be like, do you realize that you're a moron? Like, do you fully understand that you're an idiot? Like, you're bitching about Facebook for privacy, and you're happy that you moved to an Android phone. You gotta be fucking kidding me, man. Like, really? Facebook has found the most interesting ways to monetize individual pieces of their platform in fun ways, which is why they're doing so well with it. Google just has a massive amount of shit, just scary data, because like, you fill out fucking paperwork for a job and give it all your personal info, your social security number and all that shit. Fucking Google has that.
In Chrome.
Yep. Well, in Chrome, in Gmail, and any of that stuff, they've got fucking everything.
Yeah.
It's frightening. Like, and that's the world. I read a really interesting article the other day about that, where somebody was talking about like, they were working on like a sharing site for like pre-Facebook. And they were like, I was going to charge people, and it was going to be private, and that was going to be that, because like I have a kid. And then you get like Mark Zuckerberg, college student, like, privacy is a completely different thing to a person in college than a person who has kids.
Yep.
And we live in the world we live in today because privacy was defined by somebody in college, which was a really interesting take on the whole topic, right?
Yeah.
So like, it's all about an open world and open sharing and blah, blah, blah. And then like, back then I was in fucking college. Now I have kids. So like, privacy is different to me now. But it was very interesting. And I found that to be like an interesting concept. But like, how many people fucking use Google every day and they do some unethical fuck shit with your information?
Yep.
And I mean, they're constantly trying to skirt every fucking possible law that they can to get away with it and do what they want to do and all this stuff. And it's not like they're any more ethical than the cigarette companies of old. Their shit won't kill you, but I'm not necessarily saying they're more ethical than the cigarette companies of old, right?
Yeah.
They're the new big fucking player in the world that exists and is going to abuse that power the best way that they can to make the most money that they can.
But their motto is "Don't be evil."
Either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Right? That might have been one of the best movie lines ever made, and very apt and accurate.
Yeah, I've tried DuckDuckGo, and I can't ever quite get it to work as good as I want it to. And that goes double for Bing. Bing is terrible. I've tried getting off of the Google for searching in general for a while, and it's hard because that does it. Their search algorithms, especially for technical stuff, it works better.
You could always switch to Yahoo.
They've been at the game since they came into the game.
Yeah.
You know, like, what was it, 99? I heard about Google, 99, 2000.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, dude, even then it was just like, holy fuck, I had to sit and scroll through 4 pages of results to find what I'm looking for.
I'm just saying you can always switch to Yahoo.
Yeah, no.
I agree.
I did used to use Yahoo before Google.
Yeah. The problem is your email's probably in Gmail too.
Oh, yeah.
Because mine is. Several of them. All of my email accounts are fucking Gmail-based accounts. Even
my work is Google Apps.
Yep. So, like, it doesn't matter if you use the search or not. It's all there. Now, I did switch off of Chrome, but that's because Chrome runs like a piece of shit now.
It is a bit of a dog. Sin N just said that they dropped the motto "Don't be evil" a while ago. Now it's "Do the right thing." I didn't know that.
Chrome,
I'm not
to me,
surprised.
I've been on Firefox for like almost a year now. I switched back to full time. It's the best version that I've used of recent. Chrome still has the edge with Flash applications, to me anyway. Like I watch a handful of Twitch streams. In Firefox, like I'll leave a stream open for an hour, it'll freeze. I gotta refresh it after an hour. I had to do that on Chrome like 8 years ago. But that's fine. That's a very minor inconvenience in my book.
Now, all that said, NIST is putting out by the end of this year. I don't know if anybody's familiar with NIST, but they created like a cybersecurity framework. Like they're solid org. By the end of this year, they're going to be releasing their privacy framework, which, from what I understand, it's going to be a very positive thing for privacy in general. I think the fact that like Facebook's been in the news so much and all this stuff that's been going on, I think we're going to move towards an opt-out point. Like you look at accepting cookie warnings on websites now, like with how freaked out people are by this stuff, and rightfully so, I think we might be starting to move in a direction where we have a little bit more control over our data. It doesn't change the fact that we have to have completely different conversations with our children about sharing and what they put online, things that I never, ever would have fucking thought about in a million years when I was a kid. Like something my kid does when she's 12 years old and puts on Facebook could cost her a job when she's 30.
Yeah.
And that's fucking creepy and scary and like horrifying. The world that we live in to that point where almost every moment of your life is archived in a public forum is fucking terrifying. Because growing up where that's acceptable.
And mining that in the future is going to only get easier.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, pointing and laughing at people has been so easy because everyone just puts everything out there.
Yep. So did you ever, there was an article a while back that caused a huge fucking big stink. 16-year-old girl gets pregnant, right? She's shopping on Target looking at like,
oh, yeah.
And they get a fucking note in the mail. Her dad gets it that's like, congratulations on your baby or something.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
And like, underage kid being tracked, sent to dad. Dad didn't know. Like, that's fucked up, man.
Yeah, it's kind of like.
Rob, sorry, yeah. So first off, for the record, in case you haven't noticed, we're all fucking nerds.
Sinin, I would definitely. I don't think I read that. So shoot the link if you want. Rob, everybody touched a boot before. Like bags of sand, right?
Well, I have a kid So I would hope so.
Hey, that's not a
Okay, so you've had sex once. Okay.
Hey, it means that I've done it once, man. That's all that we were asked to.
Angsty's had sex at least 3 times, right? 4 times. How many kids do you have? 6?
72.
7. Oh, tree fitty.
Good.
That joke will never not be funny. It's like, well, I know you've had sex at least once. You have a kid.
But I mean, first off, for 5 or 6 years, we've been getting online talking about the technical aspects of vaping. If that's not fucking nerdy, I don't know what else is. So we've changed the direction of the nerd conversation to data privacy.
You did.
Well, here's the thing. Yeah, so I'm going to make an apology to everybody. I'm sorry that I derailed because there's so much going on in vaping to talk about right now. I'm completely off base.
Did Festa hit you up about Pro Vape? Is that what he hit you up about, by the way?
No, I talked about it. He hit me up about a spotted donation.
Oh, gotcha.
We can't talk about a vaping thing, though. Fuck it. This.
Oh, yeah.
I'm super excited to try this. Like, this is significantly smaller than the other build kit. And when I remove the stuff I don't need because I pay for coils, I can actually fit fucking everything in here. So I have cotton in here. The battery charger is in here and cable. Like, everything that I need is inside this little thing, except the coils, which are in this little metal container that hangs on it. So I'm actually super, super fucking excited about testing this from a travel perspective because it's so much smaller. There's enough room for 2 batteries in here, plus my single battery charger, all my build tools, and my coils on here. Super exciting.
I'm pulling out mine. I gotta get out of my backpack.
Did you get one of the small ones too?
No.
Oh, are you pulling out the big one?
No.
Mm.
I don't know.
Yeah, pulling out the big one.
I'm genuinely concerned when another man says he's pulling something out. But
yeah, I'm pulling out the big one.
I got an Angsty side screwdriver. If you remember, I replaced my Wera, the one that I lost at work. And I was making a subsequent Amazon order because I needed socks. And this came across my suggested.
Oh.
Look at this thing. Look at it.
I like it.
Middle finger for scale.
So, there's your comparison, by the way.
Yeah.
So much smaller.
Very much smaller. So, as a comparison, that's mine. That I've been using
an old Ego kit. I like it.
Yeah, I used an old Ego box, and I've been using this for a really long time now. There's one caveat, but inside of here, and I've showed this before, back at Shadow, and scissors, nail clippers, ceramic tweezers, coils, all that sort of stuff, screwdrivers, all of it's in the tiny little Ego kit. Now, the only thing that's not in here is a single coil charger because I don't like those. And
you like the single battery chargers?
I don't. What I have in there is another thing about this size that's got the VC2 or whatever from.
Yeah. I almost got a VC2 instead.
Yeah,
but I was like, man, I don't really need 2 for travel because I
do that.
I battery on, then I take a battery with me, and I take 3 or 4 batteries with me. So it's not like you can't just switch a little more often. And make sure
that's the thing is, during the course of a day, even a business day, by the time you add in all day plus going out that night or whatever you're going to do or whatever, I almost always go through 2 batteries.
I do too.
And I don't want to have to, I just want to be able to come back to the hotel that night, put my batteries in, go to sleep.
I might find myself switching to a 2 after this trip.
Yeah.
Trying to go as small as humanly possible as a step.
That is cool. And the Cool Master stuff obviously is good.
Very nice stuff. But I wanted to go as small as possible. That was the goal. Because last time I traveled, and I travel with 2 laptops. I travel with a work laptop and a personal laptop. So 2 laptops, a Nintendo Switch, an iPad, clothes, bath stuff, all that crap, plus a bunch of juice. So the last time I traveled, the fucking build kit plus a 4-bay battery charger with a big ass power block on it, it took up so much space that everything felt so tight. I'm like,
so the VC2, I've already got a brick that I carry for charging my phone and all this stuff, right?
Yeah,
plug right into it, right? Because it's a multi-bay thing or whatever. And the one that I got recently it's a larger sort of wall wart, not that big, but it's got LiPo built into it.
Nice.
So it's got two bays or two USB outs,
Yeah.
but it also plugs straight into the wall, so it charges itself for the external battery pack, and it's a Qi charger too. So it's a Qi charger with the LiPo pack,
Nice.
also USB outs if you're not even plugged up to the wall, or you just plug it into the wall anyway, and it charges itself up. It's
So I downside like all around because I used to have like what am I thinking here? I used to take like plug it in and then it goes into like a 5-port USB charger.
Yeah.
At the end of the plug. So I just skipped the fucking wire and I got a 4-port one that plugs directly into an outlet. So it's like fucking this big, 4 ports on it. I'm like, I can live with that because I have my battery charger. I have 2 phones that I have to carry around. I have my iPad and I can unplug my iPad, plug in the switch or whatever I need to do. But like that's enough for me to get through travel. And really from a build kit perspective, like I have just a 3mm Coil Master coil because it's the only one I need just in case.
Right.
I have coils. Oh my god, I gotta show these tweezers because they're amazing.
What what's the little metal thing? What's the actual thing? I know it's holding your coils, but what is it? Is it a pill case?
A little like metal storage case, like waterproof.
Yeah, okay.
Case. This is the best pair of clippers ever. And I have to show them. And also the new Coil Master ones have a lock on them, but
oh yeah, the little stubbies.
They're so tiny.
Mm-hmm.
And they lock. None of the Coil Master ones I had before had a lock on them.
Nope, mine don't either.
But these are like, this is the appropriate travel size.
I got you beat though. I just carry nail clippers.
I've never tried to fucking cut a Clapton with a pair of nail clippers.
It works. It over time damages them for sure, but they're also like a few cents.
If it's simply like for on the go use, you'll get some mileage out of it.
Yeah.
So it's got a little pair of scissors. I've got the 3mm build rod to like line things up if I need to. It's got the little screwdrivers. The only thing I don't like is I'm not hugely fond of these.
I hate those things.
So I'm not hugely fond of the tweezers, but I don't think I could fit a full-size pair. So this will have to work. And then I shove the battery charger, and I have room for a 2-battery case in here too. So I can take 3 batteries with me too, all fit in this little case, which is dope. I'm just excited to have less when I travel this time because I'm sick of having a bag that's always overflowing when I go through airport. And I need to do TSA pre, hopefully before I leave, so I don't have to empty my fucking bag because I'm sick of that.
Yeah.
The one thing I do hate about nail clippers occasionally, they can shoot leads.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not the softest cutting surface. So.
Yeah, you do need to cover up.
All the builders, the smart builders I've seen, who they usually favor the Nipex stuff, which are German pliers. They're expensive. They're not cheap. Like for basic needle nose pliers, you're looking at spending like $20 to $30. So their cutters are probably a little cheaper than that, but they will last fucking forever.
For sure.
Oh, it actually reminds me. My niece, this was like this is like maybe 4 months ago. My niece, she, those ones Will sent you.
Mm-hmm.
My niece's brace wire was poking her gum.
No.
So whose wire cutters came to the rescue? Coil Master. Thank you. Actually, no, that wasn't the Coil Master ones. It was the Hako ones because I bought like 3 pairs of them that lasted me up until recent. So
yeah. Rick, you're right. Coil Master does have a card kit. That's what Sean was just showing off. That was the Coil Master kit.
Yeah, Nipex is good shit. Like I love the wear shit. It's expensive up front, but you won't have to replace it unless you leave it at work like a dingus.
Now, that is interesting, by the way. I totally say Nipex. Long eye, not short eye.
Was it forged in the Nile?
Maybe. And actually, I don't know that that's right. That's just always how I've said it.
Well, I just think of cutters like nip in the bud.
Ah, yeah, nippy, nip. Yeah, it makes sense.
It could also be pronounced conniption.
Where did there it is.
But anyway,
that's
all for tonight, folks. So thank you for tuning in. Sorry we didn't have a Masty for you tonight. Busy. It happens.
We've got important ice cream stuff to do.
He did have important ice cream stuff to do.
Yeah, that peanut butter jelly ice cream didn't come from him, motherfucker. So, anyway, we will see you next week. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Foo. This is Understudy. Down.
Peace.
Thanks, Steve.